Very good morning, my dear friends. Myself, Dr. M.H. Channaya, and in today's video, we are going to learn about the projections of a cylinder. Friends, this is one of the easiest chapter on the projection of solids when compared to the other prisms and pyramids. Projections of cones and cylinders are very simple and there are predefined positions where the object can be easily placed. So friends, in any problem on the projection of a cylinder, I will tell you some important tricks and hints so that you will never fail to get good mark if there is a question on the projection of a cylinder. Friends, for all the positions for any problem on cylinders, initially we place the object on HP like that so that it appears as a circle of the given diameter of the cylinder in the top view and as a rectangle with width is equal to diameter and height is equal to height of the solid. So, given a question on cylinder, you can straight ahead, go ahead with drawing a rectangle in the front view and a circle in the top view. So friends, in today's video, let me take a cylinder of diameter 50 millimeter and this cylinder has got a height of say 70 mm. So as I told you before, the front view is going to be a rectangle of width is equal to the diameter and height is equal to whatever the height that is given in the question. So you draw this front and top view, whatever may be the question given on this particular chapter projection of cylinders. Friends, say the height of this is given to be some 70 mm. Friends, on this particular chapter, there are only two very important questions generally asked anywhere on this particular chapter projections of cylinder. One is the case when the cylinder has to rest on one of the generators. Friends, you know very well, these cylinders do not have any edges or corners and hence whatever the top view you have got, that is a circle, we divide it into some number of equal parts with not less than 8. So friends, now I have drawn the front and top views of this cylinder to the given dimension and I will take up the first case A, end generator on HP. That is, the cylinder is resting on end generator on HP. So, whether it is end generator on HP or resting on a point of its base circumference, the first step is drawing this front view and top view to the given dimensions. Friends, remember, this will fetch you 1/3 of the total marks allocated. If it is 20, you get around 6 to 7 marks for these. So, in any of these subject problems on this, what do you call the projection of solids, whatever you know you can always write. And particularly on this cylinder, it's very easy to score the first 1/3 mark. Friends, let me mark all these as points of division as A, B, C, D, this is E, this is F, G, and this point is H. O is the apex or the vertex of this cylinder. This is O dash. Axis is perpendicular to HP. This we call it as O1 dash. Friends, let us show only some of these. So project lines from all these points in the top view to the front view, and this you are going to get as A dash. The last point is E dash. This is C dash, G dash. This is C1 dash, G1 dash. So C1 dash. This is G1 dash, and this is A1 dash. This point is E1 dash. Only I have shown only few of these, only 50% of them are just marked. Friends, after drawing this figure, you have to observe the front view. And you see, friends, in the front view, this last line, E dash E1 dash, is one of the end generator. So this end generator is now end generator on, or you can say end generator perpendicular to HP. Is it not? You can just observe. This is perpendicular to HP. But it has to rest on end generator on HP. It is very simple. Whatever the figure you have got here, redraw this such that it rests on E dash E1 dash on XY. So friends, I am going to write the figure number 1 as figure number 2, wherein this is made to rest on E dash E1 dash. So friend, this is E dash, the top face, E1 dash, bottom face. We'll mark all other things like A dash here, A dash, this is A1 dash. Exactly in the center, friends, you have the axis also coinciding with the generator CG. So this is C dash, G dash, C1 dash, G1 dash. And you can say immediately here that cylinder is on HP. Not cylinder, it is a end generator. End generator on HP. Or the cylinder is resting on the end generator A dash, E dash, U1 dash on HP. Friends, remember, you should be very careful while transferring these terms, the edges of this. That is to say, this is drawn like this. So A dash should come there. At the opposite end, E dash. Similarly, you can mark all these, friends. Friends, I will show you practically how does it look. So it was like this. It was seen as a rectangle. Now, this is the last generator or the end generator which is perpendicular to HP. But I am going to redraw like this, resting on that. So friends, we have got the front view, a rectangle, same rectangle like this. And let us see what are the points in the top view you get. Friends, we will take all these points one by one. We will commence with the bottom piece, no matter. So draw vertical line from here, vertical line from here. Friends, very obviously, whatever the thing you have got in the front view, similar figure you get in the top view because it is a symmetrical figure. Friends, let me draw these lines from all these. So this is the point through what is called GG. So friends, this point we'll call it as G and this is G1. And here also friends, remember, there should be double marking for all the points. AA1, BB1, CC1, DD1, EE1. Similar to our prisms, FF1, GG1 and HH1. This is O comma O1. O1 is the center of the base. O is the center of the top face. So friend, this figure has to be shown by dark line or visible line. On all other generators, apart from these last two generators, A dash, A1 dash, E dash, E1 dash, all other has to be shown by very thin lines. So I will also show here. This is for this, and again you have got for this, another one. So if you transfer them to here, friends, you are going to have two more thin lines representing four more generators. So this is how you will get, friends, all these points. Now friends, now got a point G and G1. Similarly, if you draw a projector from here, friends, you will get what is called the generator CC. So friend, you have got this C and this is your point C1. Center you get A and E and also the axis. So here it is A and E. So I will say AE here and A1, E1 here, and also the axis you have got here O comma O1. So friends, join all the borders of the solid by straight line, that is visible lines. Show them dark are visible to the observer. And only these and all other generators, friends, you will have very thin lines and the top view you get here is exactly similar to the front view. They are the same height and width, same height and width. This is going to be the diameter 50 and this is going to be the length of that. So friends, we have got the top and front views of the cylinder when it is resting on one of the end generators on HP. This is the front view and this is the top view of the cylinder. So what else they will ask you friends? So after it is resting on generator, there are two questions that can be asked. They will say, draw the projections when the axis is at an angle to VP. That is part 1. I will say here, that is axis parallel to VP is one thing they can ask you. And the other one is, we will take up later. Axis parallel to VP. There is no axis parallel to VP. And say, they may ask you to draw the axis at some angle, say some 40 degrees to VP. So friends, if you observe the front view and top view, O dash O1 dash is the axis and this axis parallel to HP. Parallel to HP. In the top view, the same axis is parallel to VP. And remember, these two will have the same length, that is 70. This is 70, this is also 70. There is no change in the length of the axis. Now friends, in the third step, they may ask you to draw the projection when the axis is at 40 degrees to VP. Friends, whatever the figure you have got here has to be redrawn with that axis making 40 degree. Friends, I will write a line here which is at an angle of 40 degrees to VP, and I am going to mark this rectangle here. This rectangle or this figure number, what I have shown by tick mark, is redrawn here. This is redrawn like that at an angle of 40 degree. So same marking you should have. This is G, this is AE, and this point is C. And friends, here the other lines also to be shown. So I will mark this as G1, this is C1, this is A1 and E1. Axis is O, comma O1. Friends, these two figures are always the same. And once again, friends, I will give you a very important tip. That is, whatever the figure you got in the front view in the first step is always reproduced to the same dimension in all the cases of all solids and the planes. And again, whatever the figure you got here, the top view in the second position will be redrawn to the same scale. So friends, now we have got the axis of the solid inclined at an angle of how much? That is 40 degrees to VP. Friends, here let us see how to obtain the corresponding front view. So friends, this is the top face of the solid. The top face is here. The top face is here. That is, this is the top face and this is the bottom face. Now friends, I will show you how it looks. It was like this friends, resting on end generator. Now I have made like this. Friends, when you look from here friends, this face, the circular end is nearer to the observer. You will be able to see an ellipse here, complete ellipse for the top face, and the bottom face you will see only half the circle in the form of an ellipse. So let me complete the top view first, the top face. Friends, here let me take these lines. G line will be here and C on this and A exactly in the center, friends. We will produce this. So friends, we will draw a horizontal line through this a vertical line through this, and this is going to be your end A dash of the top face. And friends, here for the bottom you get the face E, A and E, A dash, E dash. Similarly, friends, here you get C and G. So I will write a line parallel to that, X, Y, and friends, you are going to get here the points here as C on this and G on that. So friends, you will get a point here, you will get a point here. 4 points you have got, friends. Similarly, on the same line, you can get points for all these other generators. So I'm just explaining all those lines and the corresponding lines from the top view to obtain those points. Friends, if you write a vertical from here, it will meet somewhere here, these lines. So this is the other point. On the other end, same distance, you get the second point. Here is one point. On the other end, on the extension of this, you get this point. Friends, you got all the 8 points of the top face. And since the top face is completely visible to the observer, we are going to show all these points joined by a smooth continuous curve. Friends, this is how you get, friends. This is O dash and this is AE, this is C dash, G dash, this is B dash, A, B, C, D dash, E dash, F dash, and G dash. Friends, this is how the top face appears in the front view finally. Friends, I told you in some of my previous videos that for all the prisms and cylinders, whatever the projections or the shape of this you get, you will have a similar photocopy of this for the bottom face. If it is a square prism, it may appear as a rectangle here, another rectangle here. If it is a hexagonal prism, a distorted hexagon here, and similar hexagon in for the bottom face. Now friends, let me produce all these bottom point and obtain the remaining. So friends, I got points like this, and friends here, you know very well, A1 is here, exactly in the center of this, you get this A1 dash, bottom is E1 dash. So I'll write down here, E1 dash. Then friends, for this is going to be C1 dash, this is G1 dash. Similarly friends, if you project these lines, like we have done for the top face, friends, you will get 2 points here, symmetrical about the vertical line, 2 points, 1 point here, and the other point is here. Friends, whatever the points you got here are to be joined again by a smooth continuous curve, friend. And remember, since this is inclined like this, friends, you are able to see the complete face here in the front view. Sorry. And here for this only half the periphery, half the circular end is seen, and the remaining is to be shown by invisible line. So this is visible, friend, and the other half of that is to be joined by a dotted curve. Friends, the tangent are joined A dash and A1 dash, and similarly E dash and E1 dash. Excepting this, all other lines, whatever I have shown, are to be shown by very thin lines, just visible lines, since they are not the edges of the solid. Friends, we have got the front view here finally. This is the top view of the solid. So this is how a cylinder looks when it is resting on one of the generators, end generators on HP, with the axis inclined at an angle of 40 degrees to VP. Friends, for the same question, it may even be termed like this. That is, instead of telling that the axis makes an angle with the VP, they can also say that the plane containing the axis is O dash O1 dash, and the generator on which it rests. So this rectangle is the plane containing the axis and the generator, and this is seen here as same O comma O1, that plane is here. And that plane is now is seen as a line. Whatever the rectangle you have got here, that is the plane containing axis and the generator on which it rests, is seen as a line in the top view. So, since all these 4 points fall on the same line, this represents the plane containing the axis OO and the generator. That is O1, E1 is the plane containing the axis and the generator on which it is resting on HP, that is perpendicular to HP. And when it is perpendicular to HP, it is seen as a line in the top view. That line is AE, A1, E1, or O, O1, E1, A, A1, or O, O1, E, E1 is that plane that is seen as a line. So even it can be termed like this. Friends, these are the steps involved in drawing the projections of the cylinder when the axis is at an angle to VP, or when the plane containing the axis and the generator on which it rests is inclined at an angle of 40 degrees to VP. And friends, for the same problem, even if they say the axis appears to be inclined at 40 degrees to VP, it is the same, or top view of the axis is inclined at 40 degrees to VP, it is the same. And in this problem, there is no need to consider the locus of the ends, because whatever the length we had here in the first position, same thing is retained in second position, same thing is retained here. So here there is no need to take the locus of either O or O1. Friends, this is one of the easiest questions, and that one can expect in the examination, and this you should never miss it in the examination. This is one question. Friends, I would like to have one more problem connected with the same cylinder. So let's see how it can be done. Friends, I hope you're all following this question and the solution for the same. And friends, if you have got any difficulty, please write it in the comment box, and whenever I get time, I will solve and help you to score good marks. Friends, I will have the initial position retained as this same. So this is N generator on HP have done, friend. Now the second important and the only the last part that I can ask you is cylinder resting on a point of the base circumference, base periphery on that circle, it means. So this is another question. Only two questions are important from the cylinders. One I have done, one is this question, which generally anybody will ask. This is also an equally important question on this chapter. Friends, you can see cylinder resting on a point of the base. So friends, it was like this, friends. Now it has to be written like that. That is to say, it will rest on a point of the base circumference with the axis making an angle with the HP, or base making an angle with the HP. So friends, we will say here axis at 30 degrees to HP, and also they can say base at 60 degrees to HP. Friends, this is one and the same, because you know very well that the axis and the base are perpendicular to each other. Now friends, you can observe the first figure. So this is the common step for both the case A and B, whether it is resting on the end generator on HP, or it is resting on a point of the circular bottom face. Friends, now we can see here, we'll remove this and say this axis, this axis is perpendicular to HP. Very obvious. Whenever any of these solids, a pyramid or a prism, cone or a cylinder, whatever it may be, whenever it is placed on HP, the axis is perpendicular to HP, very obviously. But we want this to be inclined at an angle of 30 degrees to HP. Let us consider. Friends, I am going to redraw this figure, the same figure, the figure number 1 is redrawn with the axis, that is O dash, O1 dash, at an angle to HP. Friends, let us say this is the solid. Same figure, you should remember. So this is how this solid looks when it is resting at an angle of 40 degrees. What is 30? This is 30 degrees, sorry. This is 30 degrees to HP. This is the axis O dash and this is O1 dash, and you will just mark the points on the top face A and E. A dash, E dash, C dash, G dash. And that much I will show. After completing the top face projection, we can have for the bottom face. And friend, these lines also will show these thin lines. They are the generators. And again here, friends, generators. You have got